Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about foam rolling. So if you guys haven't yet, please hit that like and subscribe button. It'll mean the world to me. So foam rolling is basically something that's part of my lifestyle now, and it's something that I do before and after a run. It helps me loosen up my muscles as well as get those knots out. Also, it's great to help prevent injuries. When I had IT band issues, I foam rolled all the time, and it helped get me over that injury quicker. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my foam rolling routine. Hopefully it'll help people who are new to foam rolling have an idea of what it's like and what things you can do with the foam roller. So let's go. When it comes to foam rolling, there's so many options to choose from. So I bought a couple of mine from Amazon, and I'll put the links down below if you want to check them out. The first one is your standard regular foam roller that you've probably seen in the gym. Nothing fancy. It comes in different lengths as well. I think this is the medium size one, just so I can get a lot more of my body on it. It's pretty cheap. You can get this I think for $20 or less. So it's good for just daily maintenance. If you don't need to get deep tissue or anything like that. So my second one that I use is a smaller foam roller, but it's got the grooves in it, as you can see. This is great when I need to really dig deep into that muscle to loosen it up. I've used this pretty much for all my IT band issues. I like to hit that TFL muscle with those grooves, and it feels amazing afterwards. And this one also comes with a vibration, so it's pretty handy to have. I don't really use it that much, so yeah, you can check these out below if you're interested. So these are pretty much my foam rollers that I use. So the first thing I like to do is work on my glutes. So you just want to get on your glutes, and you make sure you want to hit all the areas. So I just try to make a circular motion on it, and this is also good for any IT band pain that you have. Some of you might know that if you have IT band issues, you don't want to hit the IT band directly, since it's such a thick tendon and it doesn't really stretch. You want to hit the muscles around it, like the TFL muscle and your glutes. So this is the first thing I usually like to start off with. I usually do this for a couple minutes, and you don't have to do these any particular order, so feel free to mix it up or do whatever you want. And usually a couple of minutes I'll switch over to the other side to do that as well. So the next part that I like to work are my hamstrings. So for the hamstring, you have the option of doing it one leg at a time or doing both legs at a time. So I like to do it one leg at a time, since I can use the other leg for added pressure to dig deeper into those hamstrings. So I put my my right leg over my left, get that foam roller under my hamstring, and just push back and forth slowly to work that out. If you have areas that are sore, you want to hold it at that spot. You don't want to just keep rolling back and forth endlessly. You want to roll it methodically, and if you have a sore spot, you want to just put your weight on it until that pain starts to dissipate, and then you can continue to foam roll in order to get the pain out effectively. So the next thing I like to do is work on my calves. So the calves, similarly to the hamstring, I like to do 1 foot at a time, to get extra pressure and weight on my legs that I'm working on. So again, you want to start just above the Achilles tendon and work your way just before you hit your knee. So something like this. And again, if you have a sore spot or a spot that's tender, you want to just put your weight on top of it and kind of hold it until that pain dissipates before you continue. So yeah, and then for your calves, since it's such a huge groove muscle, you can also rotate it left and right on the foam roller instead of just going back and forth and rolling it. So the calf is very important. Usually my calves are the number one problem that I have in terms of being tight, so I have to foam roll my calves all the time. And again, you know, work on this for a few minutes and then you switch over to the other leg. Next up is my quads. So my quads is also another part of my body that gets super tight, which leads to, you know, IT band issues. So I like to hit these a little bit longer than, you know, other muscle groups. So for the quads, I like to do, you know, one leg at a time. I mean, of course, you can do two legs at a time as well, like this. I don't think this is as effective as doing one leg at a time because of the added weight that you could put on it. So for one leg, I usually like to stay at the edge so you can kind of use the other leg as leverage. You want to start at the top of your calves, just below your waist, and then you want to go down just before you hit your knees. So I'm going to demonstrate here. And again, if you have any pressure points or sore spots, you want to, you know, lay on top of that as well to kind of, you know, get those out. And also, you can also, for the hamstrings, you can roll from left to right instead of just going back and forth. And then, you know, you can switch it up and do the other leg, same thing but in reverse. So the next muscle I usually hit is the TFL muscle. It's basically a tiny triangular muscle next to your IT band and below your waist. It's really small, so I usually it takes me a while to find it. So I usually start off with similar to the quadriceps foam rolling, and I slowly roll down until I feel that I'm on top of it. And you'll know when you're on it because you'll feel that tenderness immediately, especially if you have IT band pain. And I kind of just sit on it for a couple of minutes and it just feels great. You'll feel it more if you use a studded foam roller. However, if you have IT band pain, you will feel that regardless. So I usually just sit on this for a couple of minutes and it helps release the IT band, and it, you know, it feels great. So the last exercise I like to do is to work on my back. And for this one, this is optional, and if you have any back issues, I don't recommend doing it. But it, you know, kind of helps you, you know, flatten your back. You know, if it feels a little bit tight back there. So I start off with my foam roller just below the shoulder blades in my back, and I lift my hips up and I start rolling down until I hit just before my lower back. And then I move forward, and you want to make sure your hips are up so, you know, you can get your back, and you don't want to go too far up and too low where you hit your, you know, your organs area. So this usually feels good, kind of like straighten out your back after a nice long run. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this information helpful. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please feel free to leave them down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit that like button and hit subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next run.